There is a constant tussle between good and bad both within and without any individual, and it's imperative that we remember good will always prevail. This theme is strongly evident in the overall message and the struggles of the main characters and their struggle with the forces of good and evil. This theme is the core of human morality and the constant tug-of-war between both sides of the coin. The main character, Atticus, a lawyer, is faced squarely with humans' propensity for evil when he represents an innocent man in a rape charge. Humanity struggles with good and evil daily. This struggle is the core of our existence. To his surprise, after appealing to the good in the hearts of the jury and the court, the guilty verdict was passed anyway. Prior to this, he believed all people had the potential for good and that this ideal will always prevail regardless of how much bad threatens to overcome them. He taught this ideal to his children, Scout and Jem, who grew up to also think like their father. This was up until they were made to witness the wrong verdict passed on the innocent man charged with rape and battery of a white woman. They too expected good to prevail and the right verdict to be passed, but their faith in the capacity for good in all people was crushed. Sometimes good will not prevail, but you must not lose hope yet. Their town was smack in the middle of the Depression era and was in the famed racist South region of the United States. This influenced the verdict greatly as the defendant, Tom Robinson, was a black man. This realization that so many people preferred to kill an innocent man because of the color of his skin shook them to their cores. This event almost shifted their minds to entertain evil, but their struggle ends when they are faced with the great evil in the form of Bob Eel, who tries to kill them, and they are saved by an ultimate good in the form of Boo Radley. The ideals they were raised on hold that good and evil are in a constant struggle, but good will always prevail eventually, and that they should always hold out hope that it will. In today's world, we are also faced with this struggle, and it seems like bad has the upper hand, but like in the book, if you are patient, good will prevail. To nip the tendency to be bereft of morals in any individual, make sure they're properly educated. The struggle for good and evil is often helped along by certain factors, and chief among them is education. What an individual is taught to believe is true will go a long way to affect how they think and behave in their lives moving forward. It informs their perspective of the world and guides their mind to affect their behaviors. A good education is a gift and a literal enlightenment, but a bad one is a deadly weapon of ignorance. Ignorance is a very deadly hamper and can be used for the furtherance of evil. In the book, the eldest child, Scout, is ahead of her classmates in school because she had been homeschooled by her father. Her teacher is clearly angered by this and forbids her from learning anything from home altogether. This action shows clearly that even though the things Scout was taught were correct, the world preferred that your knowledge was institutionalized and not education that encouraged free thought. Institutionalized education is bereft of any kind of morality. It doesn't foster the goodness in the individuals, nor put at bay the evilness either. Atticus offered his children a different, healthier version and approach. He truthfully answered whatever questions they had and encouraged them to not shy away from being inquisitive and asking questions. He treated them as adults so they can grow intellectually and morally, knowing the difference between right and wrong and knowing why they should always do the right thing. But this would sound like a disorganized system to those who operated institutionalized education because they believe there should be limits and certain topics should not be discussed altogether. It also conflicts the moral standpoint of whoever is delivering said education, as is seen when Scout's very racist teacher, Miss Gates, says something as horrible as the Holocaust could never happen in the US, but she believed firmly that the blacks in America deserved to be taught a lesson. Institutionalized education does more harm than good and fails to raise morally sound individuals in society. A home education doesn't guarantee this also because it depends on the quality and intention behind it. An evil parent cannot instill virtues or good morals, but can only give what they have. But in an ideal situation, as in the case of Atticus, a morally sound home education trumps institutionalized education in every aspect. An education bereft of morality is wasted and lacking in much-needed knowledge. Social inequality continues to be a great problem amidst people, oftentimes earning them the wrong treatment by virtue of their social class. The great gap between individuals is yet another tool that is often exploited by evil and its agents. Throughout the book, a social stratum is obvious and adhered to. There are folks who fall higher up in the classification and those who fall much lower. As is common with humans, we tend to judge people based on their societal standings and not by their value as humans. Today's world categorizes people by virtue of their social class instead of their value to society. This is evident in many occasions in the book, especially Scout being refused from befriending Walter Cunningham, whose family was considered to be too low down on the social ladder. This classification disfavors the black community even worse because they are considered lower than the lowest white family in the town, and as such, associating with them will definitely be prohibited.
The fact that you're reading this summary right now
Scout struggles to see why a person should be judged by the family they come from or their place in society, and believes a person should be judged based on one content
It's not hard
only,
to find mentors.
morality.
The main
Her
thing
father
is to
thinks
make
so
yourself
too,
valuable,
and was able to raise
then
his
reach out
kids
to
in that
people
light.
you admire.
He too
People
didn't
will be
believe
more
a person
open
was
to help
defined
you
by
when
his
they see that
surname
you
or
take their
history,
advice
but by their
seriously,
own
and
present
you also
moral
have something
value
to
to
offer them.
society.
This could be as
Today's
simple as
world
using your
also
skills
exists
to
in
help
this subtle
support their
yet
endeavors.
glaring social
For example,
structure.
if you're a good
This
graphic
disparity,
designer,
often the
you could
yardstick
help your
by which
mentor
people are
handle their
ultimately
designs
treated,
for free.
meaning that
The
no one is
relationship then
treated the
becomes
same by
give and
virtue of their
take,
families
not just
or name.
taking and taking.
The book helps show that
You
each
will have
person
some
should be
setbacks
treated
on your
equally,
journey, but your
regardless of where they
reaction
are
to them
from or the
determines
color of
if
their
you
skin.
succeed or
This
fail.
isn't debatable, and it
We've been
rings true
trained to
throughout the
believe that
scenes.
not being
We should
successful at
adopt
something
this mindset
automatically makes
also
us
and do away
failures.
with the bias
This idea has
society
been
has laid
rooted
out
in us
for us
since
to
we were
follow.
kids.
We
In
are to
class,
respect
we
each
competed with
individual
other
the way
kids for
we would like
grades.
to be
The
respected,
ones who came
giving them
last were
equal
considered
treatment and
failures
not
and
doing so
dullards.
solely based
This
on their
ideology
position,
often
rank,
follows
or
us to
origin.
adulthood, and it has the
Good in our
power to
own
limit
hearts
our
should be
progress in
preserved
life.
and nurtured at all
There is
costs.
only one
The
thing that
book's
makes a
title is
dream
also a theme
impossible
that
to
resounds
achieve:
throughout the
the
book.
fear of
The
failure.
characters first
Get this
encounter the
clear:
Mockingbird
the path to
theme when
success
Atticus
is
buys
not a
air
bed of
guns for
roses.
Scout and
You will
Gem
surely
and gives them
encounter
strict
setbacks
rules
along
on
the
just
line.
what they were
It's
allowed
normal
to shoot with
because
them,
you're trying
with
to
the
learn and
Mockingbird
adapt.
being out of bounds for
Failure
them.
will happen
When
one
he
way
is
or
asked
another,
why,
but that's not
Atticus
the real
says the
problem.
Mockingbird
The real
doesn't cause
problem
any
is your
harm. They
attitude
aren't
to it.
pests in any
How do
way.
you react
He
when things
proceeds to
don't
say
go your
it is
way?
a sin to kill
Do you
them because
consider
they
it as a
truly
good omen,
constitute
a
no
chance to
harm in
learn
any
by
way
experience?
whatsoever.
Or do you think
Although
of
he
yourself
says
as a
this,
failure,
he really is
one
speaking about the
incapable of
truest form
accomplishing
of
anything
good in
good?
all mankind.
In the end, it's
He
your
uses the
attitude that
Mockingbird to
counts,
signify
not the
a good
event.
person, or at the least, the
Healthy
manifestation
self-esteem
of
is a
good.
must-have in your
Adding that to
pursuit of
kill a good
success.
person,
People
someone
who
who had
have
done
healthy
no harm to
self-esteem
you or
know
anyone
that they can
else, is
accomplish
in fact a
anything they
great
set their
sin.
hearts to do.
It is a great
They don't
sin
let
to stifle the
circumstances
good
or the
that
people
resides in
around
your
them
heart.
determine their
An
attitudes.
example of
They
a
know
mockingbird in
precisely
the
what
book
they
is
want out
Tom
of life
Robinson,
and
the
don't
innocent
stop
black
until
man
they get it.
accused of raping
This
and
is the
beating
kind
a
of
white
attitude
woman,
you should
Maella
imbibe.
Eel. He is innocent
Listen
of
to
these
your heart
charges,
for
but is
clear
convicted
directions.
anyway and killed.
You can easily
This, in
tag
effect,
this
means the
final chapter,
townspeople committed
Trust
the
Your
great
Instincts,
sin of killing
because
a
we'll be talking
mockingbird.
about instinct
Every
and the
day,
role it plays in your
society
life.
kills the
The
content of
heart
good in
is where
us,
all real
systematically
instincts
pushing
come
us
from.
towards evil.
It is a gift to guide
Seek to
you on the
always
path of
preserve
destiny.
good in all its forms,
Have you wondered where
never
your
letting it become
passions and
forgotten
genuine
or
desires
erased.
originate
If
from?
good existed
They
in the
stem
form of
from
a
your
person,
heart.
then you
Your
must protect
passions
them
are
from
your
any
heart
such
speaking to
unlawful
you,
judgment
showing
or
you the way to
unfair
go.
persecution.
It has nothing to do
Good
with your
and good
religious
people, like
inclinations.
the mockingbird,
The heart is a
should be
functional
held in
part
high
of your being,
regard,
and one of its
protected at all
purposes is
costs.
to direct you in
This
all you
same
do.
goes for the good in our hearts
As you journey
also.
to your
It
place
should
of
not be
destiny,
left
there will come
unprotected
times
and
in your
easily
life that you're
influenced by the
confused and
surrounding
can't
evil
seem to
we are
find
facing
good
every
counsel
day.
anywhere. In those situations, listen to what your heart is telling you. Your heart will never lie to you or mislead you if you know how to listen to it. Your heart is omniscient. You can trust it to guide you. At some points in the wilderness, the shepherd boy was stranded and confused, but he made progress because he learned to listen to his heart for instruction. Deep within your heart is the map of your destiny, only if you will listen to it. If it's not already a regular practice for you, then listening to your heart can seem difficult at first. One way to get familiar with it is by cultivating the habit of regular meditation. This practice awakens your spirit and soul, making you more attuned to your heart. You can start with breathing meditation. Create a daily routine where you just sit in a calm position and use your breath as the object of focus. The goal is to observe your breathing steps. It's a simple but powerful practice that will awaken and sharpen your mind. Listen to the whispers coming from your heart when in quiet meditation. Sometimes you will hear what seems like a small voice, and at other times it will be a feeling telling you what to do. Your heart can communicate to you in any means. You just have to be attentive enough to learn its communication modes. Some call it destiny, and others call it purpose or calling. We use different names to describe it, but we're all pointing to the same thing. Every one of us was created to do something. You exist to solve a set of problems that only you can solve so well. Some of us are blessed to find our callings early, while others realize it late. But irrespective of the divide you fall into, there's something in your heart right now pointing you in the direction you should go. The prompts will come in the form of your passions, pains, desires, and dreams. Don't take these lightly. Decide that you're going to follow your passion and fulfill destiny no matter what it may cost you. This may mean quitting your job or starting life all over again. The bottom line is, don't get stuck doing something you know doesn't make you fulfilled. It can be hard to switch if you are already on the wrong career path because you'll have to consider your bills and all. However, once you've realized the path you want to follow, commit yourself to it. Work on your dreams and passions after the hours you spend on the job that currently pays the bills. Do this daily and create an exit plan you can start working towards. Don't neglect relationships on your journey to fulfilling destiny. Forge great friendships with people that will propel you to be more and do more. You may have to make tough decisions along the way. One of them is cutting off counterproductive ties. If there are people in your life right now that only sap your energy and never contribute positively, you should get rid of them. If it's hard, just try to stay as far from them as possible. Try this. Are you at a point in your life where you're confused about the next step to take? Calm down. Find a quiet place to empty your mind of all its worries, then get into deep meditation as you wait for your heart to give you clear instructions. Be sure to document the ideas coming to you and put them to work immediately.